Hello and good evening to all of you. Welcome to class, everybody. Naveen Chandran, are you a new student? I'm seeing you for the first time. Okay, so welcome to class. In fact, this is the first class for this particular subject. So you haven't missed out on anything, okay? So let's just start. And before starting, I would like to revise the things which we did in the last class. We had the class of export documentation, export trade and documentation last Sunday. So the people who were present were Rajiv, Sanubar, Seher. I think that's it. Deepak, you were not present in that class. Were you there? Monachin, you were also not there for that class. Export documentation, were you there? Am I audible to everybody? Rajiv was there, Sanubar was there, Seher was there. That's it. Naveen was not there, Monachin was not there, and Deepak was not there. So we'll just be having Mr. Monachin, you were there. Okay, I don't remember that. We'll just have a quick revision of that through an exercise. It's fill in the blanks. You have to fill appropriate words in the blanks to complete the sentences, and then we'll be moving ahead with today's class. Okay, so it's a very easy exercise, just a revision of things which we did in the last class. So we can just start off. Is it visible to everybody? So the first is, the goods and services sold to other countries are known as dash. What is it known as? Goods and services sold to other countries are known as dash. Export. Exactly, it's export. Good evening, Prabha. Welcome to class. We are having a quick revision of what we did in the previous class, last Sunday's class. Okay, that is with the help of this exercise. Then the next is, an export is represented by a flow of money coming into the country. Goods and services bought from other countries are known as dash. It is very general. It's not particularly to that related to that topic only. So everybody can answer. When we purchase goods from the other country, that is known as import. Monachin and Rajiv have given the right answer. It's import. The next one, an import represents flow of money leaving the country. All exports which can be seen, touched or weighed, such as oil, machinery, are termed as dash exports. The things which we can see, touch and weigh, they are known as dash exports. Do you know the answer? No, not tangible, Naveen. We are talking with reference to exports. So that is visible export. The word is visible. No, Rajiv, it's visible. Now, what is the difference between, we all know the difference between visible and invisible imports and exports, but why do we need to discuss it? Does it hold any importance? Yes, I asked a question. Is it of importance to discuss visible and invisible items in export and import? Mr. Monachin, what do you think? Rajiv? Do we need to discuss this? Goods are visible, services are intangible. Yes, Rajiv, you are very close to the right answer. We need to make a distinction between visible and invisible goods because there are two terms. The first is balance of trade and the other is balance of payment. Okay? Balance of trade and balance of payment. Do you know about it? Balance of trade and balance of payment. Rajiv, Deepak, Sanubar, Seher, Naveen, Monachin, Prabhavati, Muhammad, Manu. You all know about these two terms, balance of trade and balance of payment? Anybody? Okay, Naveen says no. Alright. Okay, let's just discuss it. Balance of trade is a statement like we prepare a balance sheet at the end of the year to know the financial standing of our firm. Similarly, balance of trade is a statement that is prepared for imports and exports. But under the balance of balance of trade, we include only visible items, that is goods. Okay, the services which are provided to the other countries, they do not form a part of the balance of trade. They are covered under the balance of payment. So we can say balance of payment is a very comprehensive statement. It covers both visible as well as invisible goods and services. And balance of trade just talks about the visible items. Okay, balance of payment and balance of trade. Is the difference clear to everybody? Rajiv, Deepak, Sanubar, Seher, Naveen, anyone is having any doubt? Muhammad, Manu, Monachin, Prabha, Surajit, welcome to class. Good evening. We are discussing two terms related to business. One is balance of trade and the other is balance of payment. Do you know about it, Surajit? Yes, good evening, Surajit. Okay, we can just move ahead. So, we were on number 3, I think. Yes. Number 4 now. All imports which can be seen, touched or weighed are known as visible dash. They are known as visible. Very easy. The answer is there in the line itself. All imports which, not goods, Naveen. Visible imports. Yes, Monachin. Right. Correct. Now, next is dash measures the difference between the value of visible exports and visible imports. What is that? Dash measures the difference between value of visible exports and visible of imports. I discussed the two terms right now. Yes, it's balance of trade, Monachin. That's correct. Balance of trade is the statement which covers the visible items. Okay. Then next is, if the visible imports is more than visible exports, then there is dash balance of trade. If the imports are more than the exports, then there is dash balance of trade. What do you think the answer will be? Favorable or unfavorable? These are the two terms. Monachin, it cannot be favorable. If your imports are more than your exports, means your payments are more than your receipts. So the balance of trade cannot be favorable. Okay, it's unfavorable. The next is, we are on number 7 now. A dash balance of trade is when the visible exports is more than the visible imports. What is the answer over here? When visible exports are more than visible imports. When visible exports are more, means we are going to get money from the foreign countries. We are going to earn foreign currency. So balance of trade will be what? Favorable or unfavorable? Yes, it will be favorable. Sanobar Seher, are you following? Okay, the next one. The balance of dash shows all payments and receipts between one country and other countries in trade. Balance of dash. I discussed it just a few minutes back. Balance of trade. Is that right? Is that right? No, Prabha, it's not right. It's balance of payment. Manu, it's balance of payment. Trade is when we include only the visible items, and payment includes the invisible items also. Invisible items like if a person from a foreign country invests in our country, then what are we going to do? We are going to give interest to them. So the interest which will be paid to them, that will be invisible item, and the interest which we are going to earn from our investment in foreign countries, that will also be invisible. So balance of payment includes both of them. All right. Now we go to the topic for today, that is finance. Today we will be discussing just the basics of the topic. What is finance, and what are the various sources of financing a business, the different types of options which we have, that all we will be discussing. This is not relevant to us. Okay, now there is a question. Annie wanted to raise 60,000 pounds of startup capital from a venture capitalist rather than arranging a bank loan. So to what extent do you agree with her? Actually, this question should be done once we are done with the topic. So what is finance? Finance means what is finance? In simple terms, yes, money. Money, or rather the funds. The appropriate term is funds, or the resources which we need to start up the business, and the most appropriate term is capital, that has been given by Surajit. Capital is the right word. In business, we discuss with respect to capital. So finance is the money, and sources of finances. What is H1? That I'll tell you later, Prabha. Let me just continue with this, otherwise the thought will skip off my mind. So this is where we get money from. Sources of finances are those. Like suppose if we have a family function, suppose if we have a marriage in the family, then what does the parent do? They just arrange the money somehow. They use their savings. They arrange it from the relatives. Sometimes even people take loans, whatever. So this is how they are financing the prospect, financing the marriage. So they have to discuss, or rather they have to evaluate the various sources of finances from where they can get the money, and they can move ahead with the thing. So what is the purpose of business, finance in business? Now business is needed for starting up, that is the initial point. Then everyday bill payments, for taking over the bid, if it's a big like scale business, for the replacement of machinery and equipment, for the internal growth, like training seminars may be organized from time to time to keep the employees up to the mark, their level of knowledge up to the mark. So that is all related to internal growth only. Then the expansion, there may be diversification of the business. So that's when that's just the basic points have been highlighted here, but there are n number of needs when the finance is needed by business. So starting up, it includes everything. Setting up of the business, purchasing building, machinery, everything is needed to be set up. Then what is working capital? Working capital is the money which we use for the day-to-day working of the business. Can you give me some examples of working capital? Anybody? Working capital. Yes, Rajiv. Excellent answer. Raw material. Anyone else? Rajiv is the only one. Salary of employees. Okay. Payment to manpower. Okay, Naveen. Mr. Monichin, you have any answer? Manu? Deepak? Deepak, you are not participating today in the class. Okay. So working capital is that. Then unforeseen events. And so unforeseen events are those like emergencies. As we keep money with us for meeting any emergency in our personal life also. Similarly, business also has some funds created for the purpose of meeting the unforeseen events. Now, what is the purpose of finance? The purpose of finance is manifold. It helps in the smooth running of the business. It helps in the day-to-day operations. It helps in the maintenance of manpower in the firm. And all this ultimately leads to the building up of goodwill of the firm. So the basic purpose of finance is to help in the smooth running of the business. Like the role which blood has in the human body. What is the role of the blood in human body? Can you tell me? Circulation. Okay. It gives energy. How it gives energy, Rajiv? That is the exact definition. It is the carrier of oxygen. Naveen Chandran has given that word. So it's the carrier of oxygen, and oxygen is needed by every organ of the body, and this is how our body keeps working. If we are like short of oxygen at any point of time, we may even die. So similarly, finance can be compared to the oxygen of the business. If the funds are not properly managed, then the business may collapse in the long run. Okay. So sources of finance can be either internal or external. Now, can you give me some examples of internal sources? Internal sources of finance? Bill of electricity. Prabha, that is an expense. I am asking about the internal source of finance. Naveen says capital. Who has entered right now? Class? Akshita, good evening. Nazar, good evening. Muhammad Shabaz, good evening. Rinan, good evening. You people are a little late. Any specific reason for that? Okay, let's just continue. So internal investment, as Prabhavati has said, self-investment. Rajiv has said owner's equity, or we can say in simple language, we can say savings of the owner, savings of the person who is in a like intent to start off the business. So that is the internal source of finance. And external is external loan. Okay, loan from where? Debt, bank loan. Okay. Suppose if the firm is not interested in taking the bank loan, what options are available? Naveen is saying shareholders. It's the right answer is shares. That has been given by Prabhavati. Selling of property, Nazar, that is done under very dire circumstances, not on a very regular basis. Venture capitalist. Okay. The most in simple terms we can say a firm can raise funds by issuing shares. It can raise its capital by issuing the shares. That is an external source of funding. So let's just discuss the internal and external. These are the finances which are raised internally, and it does not increase the debts of the business. Like, we don't owe anything to anybody when we are using our own resources. As Nazar said, selling of the property. So that may be one option available. Then personal savings. Those are some of the internal sources. You can say savings, retained profits. But retained profits are available only in case of a running business, an existing business. Then sale of unwanted assets, sale and lease back. Okay. But for a startup, the basic is personal savings. Then external sources are those which are like taken from outside, from the third party. So examples are loans, overdraft, shares, debentures, everything. What is overdraft? Anybody knows overdraft? Have you heard this term, overdraft? Who is giving the answer to this one? Rajiv, Deepak, Sanubar, Sahel, Naveen, Monachin, Prabha, Muhammad, Manu, Akshita, Surajit. Okay, Monachin, can you just explain a little bit? You are right, it is from the bank, but what is the basic purpose? No, Manu, that's not overdraft. Overdraft it's a special facility which is offered by banks to its customers. For this purpose, it is available to the big business houses. For this purpose, the big business house has to open an account in the bank, and that type of account is called current account. You must have heard this name in your accounting terms, current account. There are different types of accounts. Hello. Surajit, is it clear now? Am I audible to you properly, everyone? Naveen, is it fine now? Okay, it's still breaking. Just a second. Now is that good? Akshita? Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I was just telling about overdraft. So, in this case, the business house will go to bank and they will have to open an account with them. And that account is called a current account. And it is not like very easy to open it. You have to have some goodwill for opening that. Its validity is like, it depends on the term that is agreed upon. Okay, Prabha, there is no fixed limit to it. It depends on the term agreement. So in this case, like, you have an overdraft limit of 1 lakh. So what you can do is, you can and there are just 20,000 rupees in your account. So you can purchase goods worth 1,20,000, and Means the bank is offering 1 lakh to you from its side, and what you have to do is you have to pay interest on that amount. Okay? That 1 lakh is something that is offered to you by the bank, and you need to pay interest on that excess 1 lakh rupees which bank is providing to you. So overdraft limit is set according to the size of the business and the number of transactions it is holding in a month. Alright? Who has raised hand? Naveen has raised. Okay. Then shares, you all know. Shares are the, we can say they are the ownership rights of the company. Once you purchase the share, you get an ownership into the company. And debentures, they are also, they may be short-term to long-term investments, and they don't have any collateral security attached to them. Collateral security is the security which you need to offer to the party from which you are taking your finance. It may be a bank. The bank is not going to give you overdraft just like that. Overdraft limit will not be sanctioned just like that. You have to give something as a security, something concrete. Okay. Similarly, but with debentures, you don't need to give any collateral security. You understand collateral security? Suppose you go to bank for taking a loan for purchasing a car. The bank is not going to give you loan just out of thin air. It will ask you for some security. So you may have to submit something, you may have to give the papers of your property or something like that, something concrete, which bank can sell in case of any mishappening. Yes, it can be gold, land, property. Now, finance is generally divided into three terms: short term, medium term, and long term. Short term is just for 3 years, and in recent time it is just for 1 year generally. The medium term is for 3 to 10 years, and long term it is just for 10 years. It's for over 10 years. And this is short-term finance is the one that is needed for day-to-day running of the business. All right. So we can understand more about short-term finances when we will be discussing the cash flow. So what is cash flow? It's a statement, we can say it's a comparative statement which measures the inflow and outflow of funds from the business. Inflow means the money which you are going to receive, and outflow is the money with the payments which you have to make. So inflows are sales revenue, capital, loans and grants, and purchase, outflow is purchase, rent and rate, wages and salary. These are just the basics. There are many more. Okay? Clear to everybody? Hello, is it clear? Okay. What is the importance of this cash flow statement? If we are not going to keep a watch on our activities, then definitely we may not survive as a business in the long run. Our venture may prove to be a failure. So we need to have an eye on our earnings and our expenditures. So that function is done with the help of the cash flow statement. So it says that there should always be cash available so that the bath is never empty. Because if the bath is ever empty, the business is in trouble. So it will have a cash flow problem. the connection got lost. Now is it fine? Am I audible? Okay. So hire purchase. You all understand hire purchase means this is very popular means of finance these days. Hire purchase is like we go for purchasing a car. What do we do in that? We have to make some amount as the cash payment has to be, the cash down payment has to be done, and the remaining amount we pay to the company with the help of investment, the EMI, the equated monthly installments. So that is a hire purchase agreement. Yes, after several installments. So this is now a very popular means of investment and finance at present. Most of the vehicles, the big things, even the house, the property, everything is available on hire purchase agreement. Then trade credit, that is an internal means of finance. Means trade credit is when you do trading on a credit basis. You take goods from your supplier and then you say, I'm going to pay you after 3 months. Normally a grace period of 3 months is allowed in case of a business transaction. So that is trade credit. Now short-term external first is overdraft. So this is the, in simple terms, overdraft is this. You can just read it. The bank allows the business to draw more money from the bank account than they actually have in it. The advantages are given and the disadvantages are also given. It says it has to be repaid within a short amount of time. Okay, so it has to be repaid. And the time period is not too much. It may be like maybe 3 months. Normally it is 3 months only for a business. The bank is going to call you up if you are not repaying the amount at time. Now short-term loan is when it's for, when a loan is taken for a time period of 0 to 3 years. And what may be the purpose of it? It may be for buying a specific piece of equipment or to purchase a particular consignment of raw materials in order to fulfill a contract. Now again, the advantage, disadvantage, you can just read it quickly, then I'll go forward. You have any doubt, please ask. Can we go to next? This is a link of the video. This was a song on credit cards. So, that's not needed. Now, what are the factors of influencing a bank's decision to lend? These are the basic reasons. Past trading record. What is the purpose of finance? What type of product are you selling? What is your financial standing in the market? What type of business proposal you have in your hand if you are a startup company? What are your financial projections? Means how much you expect to earn by the end of this year maybe. Is your proposal really feasible or it's just a, just a very fake type of a proposal, something not worth it. The nature of the market or sales forecast for that particular product. Now, banks use the information to determine who qualifies for lending and determine what interest rate will they lend at. So, interest rate is the cost of borrowing the money. That all we need to know. Now, security. Security is something which acts as the assurance to a lender that it will get its money back if a business is unable to pay back the money it has borrowed. In case the person is not able to repay, then the security can be sold and the money can be realized. So very important to offer a security. So the bank, what can the bank do? The bank can, it is legally entitled to sell the factory or the office in order to recover the amount. The bank will keep your papers as a security. Now other external short-term finances. First is hire purchase. This we have discussed. What is hire purchase? You pay for an item in installments to a hire company over a period of time. When you go for such type of purchase, the time period is also predetermined, like you will have to make the repayment in the time span of 3 years. And the monthly installment is also pre-decided, isn't it? Is it so? Have you purchased anything on hire purchase contract? Anybody? Anyone maybe have purchased a car, a bike, or a home, anything, a property. Rajiv has purchased a car. Okay. Monachin car, Naveen car. This is the reason why number of cars on the road has increased so much. Now trade credit is buy now, pay later. So normally the business is done on this basis, but now the trend has changed a little. Now what people want is that payment should be made immediately. But if your business is of like it has some holding in the market, it can easily avail the trade credit. Then the next is medium term finance. It is for 3 to 10 years. You can just go ahead. What are the various sources? First is the medium term loan, the hire purchase agreement, and then the lease agreement. Now let's go ahead with this one. Medium term loans, the rate of interest charged is very important, and it's a little high in case of a medium term loan. So business has the option to choose either a variable or a fixed rate loan. It keeps on fluctuating, and it may be fixed also. Like if the loan is taken for a period of 10 years, then throughout the span of 10 years, the interest rate may be the same. And in variable rate, if the interest rate in the prevailing in the market is low, the interest rate may be low, and if it's high, it may again be high. This is advantage, disadvantage. You can just read it once. Can I scroll? Can we go to the next? Now hire purchase, this we know because many of us has practically experienced this. Then leasing, what is leasing? In this you have to pay the installments over a set period of time to rent an item. Means you are not the owner of the property. You are renting it out to somebody. This is very much popular in the case of coal, in the coal trade. This is very popular. This type of leasing. Even in the case of oil trading, the people who own the oil well, they also go for leasing only. Like in case of hire purchase, once you make the final payment, you become the owner of the property. But in case of leasing, you won't become the owner. You will just be the landlord, I would say. Okay. So there are three parties involved in case of leasing. These are the advantages and disadvantages. Then long-term finance. The long-term finance is for more than 10 years. And this is the finance which we normally talk about. So it can be a long-term loan and it can also be issue of shares. Sale and lease back and retained profit. Now let's see each one of them. The long-term loan is very simple to understand. It is something which we get for a period of more than 10 years. And it can be for the purchase of machinery. Basically, when we are doing capital investment, in that case we need a long-term loan. Then loans for building, mortgage may be available. It can be a variable rate or a fixed rate plan, that depends. Now share. So it is in the business, it is sold to an individual or another business, also known as equity finance. This money then used to purchase the new assets. So shares can be issued at the startup of the company and some portion of it is retained. And as and when the need arises, then also the company keeps on issuing shares from time to time and generate funds for the business. And what is the interest of the shareholders? Means why they are going to purchase the shares. First is they get the ownership rights. That is one reason. And the second is they get dividend also. Dividend is the part of the profit of the company. Yes, Rajiv, dividend. And this type of right is available when you own a large number of shares of a company. So share is a big gamble. People purchase shares just for ₹10, like 10 rupees for a share. So someone may purchase 100 shares. So what the investment is? Just 1000 rupees. And after a long period of time, when the business may flourish, the company will have a good standing, then at that point of time, the value of shares may go up to 1 lakh. One share may be of 1 lakh. So just imagine, one who is having 100 shares of that company, he is going to be a millionaire. So that is a big gamble. So finance, this raising money through shares is available only to companies. And you all know about companies, public limited and private limited. Then stock market. It's a market where shares and debentures are bought and sold. So it's a very in the stock market, the dealings are for a very short period. What is the length of the trading in stock market? Can anyone tell me? What may be the length of the trading, the time period? It is just 1 day. In the morning at 9:30, when the market opens, people purchase shares through their brokers, and once the market is high, they may just sell off their shares and earn money. So this is, now let's go to this one. Now sale and lease back. In this case, an asset is sold but then leased back, usually for a long period of time. It is given to someone else on rent. Okay, so you are having double benefit. One is when you have sold it, then you have earned money, you have got cash, and when you have leased it, then you are getting monthly rental. That's really a profitable means of getting finance. Now retained profits are available only if it's a running business. So that is also there. We keep on adding, keep on saving the profits. Now it has got a disadvantage that the shareholders may become unhappy if this means lower dividend payment. Sometimes the company may be earning good profits, but it is retaining for the future use. So the shareholders will be the receivers. They will be at the receiving end. They are not getting the amount which they should actually get as the dividend. So they may become very unhappy on this issue. Now other sources of finance are government assistance, venture capital and business angles. Government assistance is it can either be a loan or a regional aid, and it's not available for every business. It is available only to specific types of business. This is something which we don't need to do. I'm just skipping that. The next is venture capital. This is individuals or firms who lend money. It is known as venture capital. Means one business may lend money to another business who is in need. So that is an example of venture capital. Okay. Is whatever we have done so far, is it clear to everybody? Any doubts, anyone? What about others? Okay. Deepak, are you there? Seher, Sanubar, Akshita, Muhammad, Rinin, Sunny. Okay. Now business angles, it's a newer concept. They are those which offer management advice as well. Okay, like a special panel may be appointed for the purpose of business consultation from such firms. So that's a different thing. Now, this choice of finance, how we have to get the money, that depends on the various sources, various reasons actually. First is it's not very difficult to think of. The first is the nature of the business, how much money do we need, the amount of control. If we don't need any control, then we can go for issuing of shares because the shareholders will be the owner then. So that's but in every case it's not desired to leave the control. Okay, then internal funds, length of time. So it's just a recap of what we have done. External, short-term overdraft, short-term loan, hire purchase, medium-term loan, hire purchase and leasing, and long-term loan, shares and debentures. Then internally, it can be a trade credit, it can be retained profit, and it can be all these: retained profit, sale of assets, sale and lease back. Okay. Now, what are the factors influencing the choice of finance? The type of business, security. Do we have ample security to offer to bank? That is an important consideration. How much control do we need in the business? Internal or external? Which means should we go for? How much is the existing debt on us? If we are already like the debt is on the higher side, then people outside may be reluctant to give further credit and loan to us. Even the bank may just hesitate. So that all we have to consider. And cash flow, is it being maintained properly? The length of time, for how much time do we need it? That's it. This is something that's not needed. Now there is a small quiz. I would like all of you to do it. I'll just share the link with you and then you can just start it off. Is that fine? Okay, I'll just and this is the link. You can just go to the page of the quiz and you can just start it off. It's a very simple quiz, but there are some terms which you might not be knowing. You can just leave those questions. Okay, everybody. And there is a case study also. This is raising finance for a short scale business. So this is the case study. I'll be sharing it with the coordinator. You can just get it from them. Okay. It will all be available at the portal of IMTS. Alright. How we can raise money for small and medium enterprise. Is that fine? This is the case study. It's a 7-page case study. You can get it from there on through the portal. And regarding the assignment which I have uploaded, it was on role play. So how many of you have attempted that? Did you all see that assignment on classchatter.com? Has anyone done that? Role play? Rajiv, you have done? Actually, I was very busy today. I just couldn't check it. I'll be checking it tomorrow. Okay, and I'll be grading you accordingly. Okay, Mr. Monachan, you have done? Naveen, it's available at classchatter.com. It's a site. You will be given a password and Surajit, please do it positively by tomorrow. Tomorrow means like tomorrow afternoon and so. Because I need to grade you for that. This is the site. So you can just get your Naveen, this is the site. You can just go there. You will be provided a password and a ID which you have to use for logging in and solving the assignment. Alright? Prabha, please contact the coordinator for the same. I think there is a number there. A number is mentioned there. You can call on that number. Or you can just drop a mail. You drop a mail to the coordinator. The coordinator will get back to you. Okay? Because there are some other students also who are having this problem. One Muhammad is also having this problem. Who is that Muhammad? I don't remember. Are you all solving the quiz? And I just want to mention one thing. I'm really glad to see the good attendance today. And if you are not attending the classes and you are solving the assignment, you won't be graded for the same. It has to go hand in hand. Attendance as well as the solving of assignment. If I talk about the last class, Mr. Monachin, you were not there. But this time I will be like grading you. But from next time, if you are not attending the class and you are solving the assignment for that particular topic, you won't get any grades for that. Okay? So that's the rule decided by IMTS. So you have to be very particular with both the things. Is that clear, everybody? This is not for just Monachin sir. I'm just telling it to everybody. I remember that you were not there in the last class. So I was just mentioning your name. Okay? I hope you don't mind that. Can you solve those questions? Yeah, Prabha. Okay. Now coming to hedge fund. Hedge fund is a type of investment. It's what happens in this is in this the capital from other investors. It is all pooled up and then it is invested in some security that may be available for the purpose of earning interest. Okay, and there is it is not like just like that. There is a group of people who are professionally trained to handle those funds. You can say there is a professional firm for the investment and handling of those funds. That is hedge fund. Okay. And there's a difference between it. A mutual fund is normally for a very short period of time. It may be just for a year, but hedge fund is maybe for 3 years, 5 years, whatever the period may be. Okay. Sweepstake. What did you say? Sweep? 1 minute. Sweepstake. Just a second. I'll tell you. I'm not very sure about this term. I have heard of this, but I'm not sure about this one. So I'll just give you the appropriate answer. Stake is something in which it's like in which you gamble. So sweepstakes are they are like some type of contest in which the winners are awarded prizes. Sweepstakes. Okay. Have you been awarded somewhere, Prabha, through a sweepstake? So are you all doing that quiz? Now less than a minute is left. So I'll just be Nazar got 70%. Okay. Nazar did it very quickly. That's good. So now the class is about to end and you can just complete the assignment by tomorrow, those who haven't done it. Then I'm going to grade everybody. You can see your grades in the comment box and be sure that you are present in every class. Good going, Monachin. You got 70%. Nazar, you also. So just complete the assignment timely so that you are given good marks for the same. And make sure you are present in every class because attendance along with assignment is going to help you in getting good grades. So, sorry. Give your feedback at the end of the class. Thank you so much. Have a nice week ahead. Have a good sleep tonight. Thanks.